Hi guys! In this video I would like to talk a bit about the T40, Tier 4 turretless American tank destroyer. This little machine is one of my favorites, and if you manage to put it in a good sniping spot, it can unload a whole world of pain on the enemy tanks. I also like it because I tend to have on average good games in it, even if the actual game is a loss. After just over 90 games with it, I have a 65% win ratio, and I'm pretty sure I will come back to play it again sometime in the future. Right now I have 2 games loaded up for you that can demonstrate the kind of games the T40 can give you. If you would like to jump to the gameplay right now, I have some timestamps in the description below. Otherwise just tag along as we quickly go over the main specs in the garage and give you an idea what the T40 is actually about. Well, for starters, I can tell you what it's not about: the mobility. This is actually the only area where it lacks a bit compared to its counterparts in Tier 4, but with 38 km/h top speed and 32 degrees per second hull traverse, it's far from being slow. You can still get into a good position well in time whenever it's required. In all other areas, this machine is one of the best in its class. Amongst the Tier 4 tank destroyers, it has the best view range at 400 meters, one of the best signal ranges at 650 meters, and the best frontal hull armor with 51 mm, combined with the most health at 275 HP. Now, we still cannot take too many hits. Usually it only takes about 2 or 3 shots to get busted, but that's actually enough in most circumstances. You really shouldn't go face to face with most enemies anyway. Another big bonus is that while you do not have a turret, you do have a great gun arc and good gun traverse, meaning that you do not have to turn the whole vehicle a lot when switching targets. The sweet spot for this machine is, however, the top gun selection. We can choose from a very nice fast-firing sniper gun, the 76mm M1A1, and the king of DERP in its tier, the 105mm howitzer M3. The choice is really down to personal preference, as both guns are great. I am rolling with the M1A1 and I really like it. Both the penetration at 128mm and the average damage of 115 damage are one of the best in its tier, only shadowed by the gun of the Russian Su-85B. Moreover, this gun is good enough to wreak havoc even in higher tier battles. The only negative point is the accuracy at 0.41, but thanks to the great rate of fire at 16.22 rounds per minute, you can just keep on firing even if you miss sometimes. The loading time is top-notch as well, at 1.7 seconds. I definitely have to give some praise, however, also to the 105mm howitzer gun, as it packs a monstrous 410 average damage in Tier 4, combined with 53mm of penetration, meaning that you can pretty much one-shot anything in your tier if you aim well. Hell, if you really want to troll around, just load some gold ammo in this thing. The heat shells will give you 101mm of penetration with average 350 damage, which is pretty brutal for its tier. Now, of course, the accuracy is the usual DERP 0.55, but the aim time is still very good at 1.7 seconds. If you like derping around, this is a great machine to do it. Regarding equipment, I did go with camo net, gun rammer and gun laying drive. But as the aiming time is actually quite good to begin with, instead of the gun laying drive you might wanna think about binos. With the 400 meter basic view range, you can get this up to 500 meters and you will be stationary for a good amount of time. As for crew skills, I would go with 6th Sense and camo all around at first. Alright, so now that's all settled, it's time to play some games and see how this baby handles on the battlefield. Alright, so here we are in Live Oaks, in a Tier 5 standard battle. As we are playing our T40 starting from the south base, we will just roll out and take our place with the other TDs in that sniper's nest on the little hill. This will give us great shots on the enemy entering the town, and also on the little houses next to the swamp, where they also try to hide usually. Well, right from the start we can see that the team deploys the usual way, sending only a marginal force to protect the eastern flank. Just looking at the map, I pretty much know that the enemy most probably will break through here. But I decided to help push the city area to make sure we can push in the enemy base before we are overrun, and just to keep an eye on the minimap for the time being. Alright, so it begins. One hit. And that's a very tricky shot. Ooh, missed that one. Come on. We need to move. The eastern front is just about to collapse. Alright. Ooh, that was not well aimed at all. A beautiful 2 damage shot. And a miss. Yeah. Turret side of a Churchill is no problem. But hitting it with this accuracy sometimes is. And we bounce one. Come on. Yes. So a lot of misses, but just keep on firing. Alright, and this is the moment when I realize, oh shit, this is not going well. So I point it out, but to be honest, the heavies can't really do anything about it. KVs are just way too slow to get back and do anything about our base being just overrun. So there's nothing else to do. It's 3 of us. We have to make this work. I mean, that Grilla is doomed. But it was for a long time now, so I guess he could have moved. No shot at this Hetzer from here. Our heavies really need to go and cap at this stage. Good shot at the T40. Just keep on firing. Yeah, as soon as he was tracked, he was done for. And this Crusader, I have a lot of problem hitting him. Miss after miss after miss. But to be said, that's actually my fault. I should have aimed more before, in anticipation of his movement. Finally another hit. Alright. 2 good shots. And the Churchill asking if I don't have any ammo. Now that I have fired for the last 2 minutes constantly. Alright, so now it's just me, so there's really nothing else I can do. They won't come here, so have to go and reset that camp. And to that, unfortunately, I have to cross this field. So let's just hope Crusader is not coming right now. And of course, raging in the chat as usual. And that TD is facing completely the wrong direction. And penetrating that guy from the side is no problem at all. Also, the Crusader is kind enough to put his sides towards me. So, camp reset done. And unfortunately, this is the moment when I have a bit of a brain fart. This is an AT2. Going head to head with it, with no real cover, is really stupid. We bounced one, but that was really lucky. And that one didn't do any real damage. And no, I mean, I just can't penetrate this guy from the front. At least not unless I aim at weak spots. And yeah, that was actually really stupid. But we allowed the team to cap, so that's a win. And there you have it. Ace tanker, high caliber, over 1300 XP undoubled and over 21,000 credits. We did manage to dish out over 2000 damage, the highest in this match, and all this despite the inaccuracy of the gun. We did fire the gun 42 times and scored only 28 hits with 25 penetrations, which adds up about 56% hit ratio. Thanks to the great rate of fire, however, we could maintain our DPM throughout the game. Just put yourself in a good position and keep the gun firing. This machine will dish out the damage for you. So in our second game, we are on Sand River in an encounter battle, also in a tier 5 match, though this one is more of a mix of tiers 3 to 5. Now this is not an amazing game with millions of medals, but an enjoyable solid little game, the type you can expect regularly playing the T40. As the game starts, I decide to start on the ridge next to our starting point, giving me good shots on most of the map. Now I am aware that my flank is not completely safe, so I will have to keep an eye on the minimap as the game goes on. Alright, there are quite a few nice little sniping spots on top of this hill, both with cover and concealment. Now in the beginning I'm just derping around, to be honest, around this rock. I mean, this is the most stupidest placement possible to do here. I mean, if there is solid cover and concealment, you don't stop before it, you go behind it and actually use the damn thing. So, thankfully, I decide to move my ass a little bit. And again, typical mistake, I'm way too close to the bushes. Unfortunately, I don't have sixth sense, so I can't tell exactly if I'm spotted. But firing so close to the bush, it's quite possible that I will get spotted here, and that's dangerous because right now I'm just at the palm trees, and there is absolutely no cover there. I have to move back towards the rocks or just reverse down. Oh, that was close. Yeah, and we did catch the turret of that P1. And right now, with this AMX-40, that's exactly the reason why you just don't go over ridges like that. I mean, you give your weakest parts to the enemy on a silver plate. Oh, and there we go. So I definitely have been spotted here. Time to disappear from the radar. Relocate. Just a few meters. Alright. Here are our next contestants. And yeah, I completely messed this one up. Usually I'm alright catching these little bastards, but here I just completely mess it up and I can't get a shot in. Luckily, T40 nails him, so that flank is secure. And it's going really well. I mean, 8-3, this game is pretty much in the bag. But we only did 455 damage until now, and that's when I spot the Stug. Or Stug. And to be frank, he was already appearing on the minimap before I actually noticed him, so if I did pay a little bit more attention to the minimap, I could have nailed him probably. And this headset is just going for it. But then he stops, so that's that. Churchill in the town. derping around alone. There is no way this is going to happen, so it's time to move if we want to get some more shots in. And just changing sides, moving to that other ridge in front of us will be perfect, because the enemy mostly will be now south of the second starting spot. Yeah, it's the usual arty spot. Well, one of it anyways. And the Churchill's gone, so that leaves us with 2 arties and an Su-85 on the enemy team. And they did pull some back, I guess. A lot of us did get careless. Ooh, and there is a bishop. And now the gun just simply does not want to cooperate. A miss. A bounce. Okay, I messed this one up. Finally a hit. Again, did not penetrate, and then somebody blows them up. So, yeah, revenge of the gun. But usually it performs quite well. So now it's only the Su-85, and there he is. Just in front of us, perfect for a nice little shot. Which will miss. But the second one goes in. And yeah, he's a goner. And he does us a nice favor, showing us his back, and yep. That's that. Another nice little game in the T40. So you see, this was not a fancy match, but we did manage to do well despite some of our mistakes. And I tend to have similar games very often when I'm driving my T40. So overall, we did get just over 600 XP, which is not bad to get doubled as the first match of the day. We did dish out over 900 damage, second highest in the game, by scoring only 13 penetrating hits from the 31 shots fired. So that's it for me for this video. As usual, any comments and suggestions are welcome. I hope you did enjoy watching it, and we'll have some awesome games in your T40s. Take care and see you around.